There we go, finally showing us being live, because I always do live streams rather than videos. Easier, so I don't edit. Anyway, ignore the name. The name of the map is not going to be its final name, it's just a placeholder for now. Could have called it placeholder, couldn't I? Anyway, the emphasis on this map is Maypole look-alike, I guess you could say. I'm more of the countryside kind of feel for maps I go for anyway. Riverview, I try to make it feel country-esque, but of course, in places yes, and then in other places it didn't. And it bothered me for quite a while. That's why you see so many houses in different areas around the map, just to try and give it more of that country feel of just a few houses scattered here and there. And I think it came out well. Maypole, I went with the idea of fewer houses and more dirt roads and and fields being led off of dirt roads. And I always wanted to go and do a map that would introduce smaller fields, but not limit you to small fields alone. Ignore the areas that haven't been done, because it's the areas that have got hedges around that have been done. But you can see our farm just over the back there. And but we will jump to the store. And I just like these buildings personally. They work, especially that one. You know, don't break, don't change something that, no, yeah, don't fix something that isn't broken. It's the word I was looking for, wasn't it? Or not word, but sentence. This, you know, it's a difficult one when you come to the vehicle store. Do you give a lot of space? Do you give a small amount of space? Some might argue, well, why so much space? Especially when you see some of the size of some of the fields. It's late. It's like 12:15 at night when I'm recording this, so it's the following day, effectively. And and my partner's just got back from a night out with some co-workers, so yeah, you can see the tower in the distance. I haven't spread them around yet. I'm not even sure if I'm going to use cartridges on this one. I might change it up and go with something else, but I just dumped them all there ready. What made it funny was some of them are different sizes. I haven't sized them. I never noticed that. In the two maps I've been placing them, I've never noticed that there was different size cartridges. Obviously, to make it harder to find some of them and easier to find others, but you can resize them in the editor. That isn't a problem. But if I keep them, that's another story. Right, so the map is going to be an island, and I've only done here, and I've got all of that to go yet. This is set in stone, so down here, which we will be taking a drive down there, don't worry. That is set in stone, and everything that you would see around here is set in stone. Farmland wise, you get the picture. There's a lot. I haven't done that one now. I forgot to do that one. But you can see from here, size of the fields, 0.18 hectares. 24.27. They do get a bit bigger. I mean, there's one that's just over a hectare. That one, yeah. The others are pretty much below a hectare, and in the editor they looked big, especially that one. It looks way bigger than that one, but and yeah, it's not. In which anyway, so it's going to be on an island. I will be putting things in the distance. Right now it's just bland and nothing. Dirt tracks will go off here, there and everywhere. So what we will do is we will get a tractor at the store. And we'll just go with the Massey, why not? And we'll jump to it because I don't want to skip through all of the and if I'm pointless resetting it where it landed, where it is, where the reset point is. I didn't do this part, did I? That's it. Right. Oh yeah, might need to fix that icon. It's a bit high up in the air, but I've I've altered the terrain here. It was a bit higher than where it is now. And judging by the icon, which was actually sitting perfectly fine originally, I took the ground down a lot. So yeah. After I'd put the fencing all the way around, I decided, oh, I'll lower the terrain. So I lowered all the buildings down and went, oh yeah, maybe I should now fix the fences that are now floating in mid-air as well. Yeah, good idea. I haven't done the traffic spline yet. That will come, but Average and Gamer Dragon, who have seen that picture, will recognise that, and will have recognised it from the thumbnail and the loading screen. But I've got pedestrians to put in yet. There won't be pedestrians all over the map, but there will be pedestrians. The grocery mart, supermarket, and sell point is around the back. I was going to put a second sell point here. I might have this as a grain, so you can put corn, potatoes, sugar beet in there. And then your gas station, when I haven't got a tree in my way. Yes, I know I like my trees. I don't really, but we'll just go with it. And the church over the road. And then a few of the small fields. These smaller fields could very well end up becoming grass fields. Thanks to Alien Jim, who gave me permission to continue using these cuttable hedges, will give you the option to open up the land, join fields together. I don't know if I'm going to give you the option to sell the walls from around the main road yet. You'll have to put that in the description. Not in the description. You'll have to put that in the comments below. Should I have it so all non-cuttable hedges and walls from around the roadsides can be removed. The only production building that's actually in place at the moment is the dairy. I don't like seeing maps with all the production points on top of each other. I like to see them spread out. I like to have to go from A to B, and you know, I don't. When all the production points are right on top of each other, all you're doing is taking forklift or something and picking a pallet up and moving it from one point to another. In which I know technically you're doing that when you're moving them via a trailer, but it's, where should we go, straight on or left? Left will take you the way that I was showing Average and Game of Dragon in pictures. Obviously members of the Monkey Show have seen a lot. One of the good friends and testers, Farmer Dad, has seen and probably driven on the map. But there you go. For those of you who've seen the pictures, you'll recognise that. And don't worry, you can get across to the farm from here. I've made sure that you can get from A to B and you don't have to go onto the main road to go back down another dirt road to get to anywhere. I've opened it up, like that dirt road will lead you onto the main road. Anyone who recognises the farm on Maypole will immediately recognise that kind of turn in there. Those of you who don't, well, you haven't played Maypole enough. The yard could very well change a bit. The sheds haven't been put in as placeables yet. They will be though. Well, let's take a look. You obviously have to buy the land here, which will cost you 103,000, say 104,000, but then you buy everything. So you own everything on here instead of having it in sections, because this, I'm not making this into a pasture, a workable pasture, and there's a reason. Because I might not have this set up that all the buildings are there on different game starts. So, yeah. I'm not fully sure just yet on that particular part. Is that growing? It is. Okay, good. It's a big grass field. It's a big grass field, and conveniently silage clamper right next to it with a bird walking up the side of the wall. See that all the time around here. Along with floating deers. Ignore the vehicles, I haven't decided on what your going to starting equipment will be. And apparently I haven't painted in there yet. So, chickens, coop's bigger, as you can see. 1,000. You have 1,000, haven't you? I mean, there you go. Probably too small for 1,000, to be honest, but and then your typical house, working doors, sleep trigger. And I've parked it all away nicely, like, oh, this is your starting equipment, but this is all starting equipment from Riverview. Apart from the Massey over there I drove down in, obviously. But I just parked it there because obviously I'm going to be testing as well, so I needed equipment to be able to test with. And some of it might carry over. That's what I wanted to have a look at when I was putting these hedges in. Because in the editor you can't see the fence. So that one needs to go back a little bit. It's okay. It's a lot of corn. Wow. So, grass field growing. 2 cornfields. Plenty of silage that you could be done. 250 cows. Let's just go with them as well. Nice big field. I might actually increase that from 250. Because the size of the pasture, I mean, not exactly small, is it? And I've got to fix that apparently because that goes all the way up here. It's meant to come all the way up to here, not in there. That's fine. So I actually had that done. I guess from down here you can't really tell. Not really, but 250 cows, maybe takes up to 500. What's more? One. Go into animals and cows, and you can see that one. You can place it. Just don't expect to be able to see the end of it. As you can see, it's quite long. And chickens, 1,000. So yeah, I might do the same with all the animal pens, or only the ones that I actually modify. I don't know yet. But get back in our tractor, huh? But I got to this part, and so that dark shed there, next to the silage clamp, was where this light green with the red roof is even. That shed was there, and that was the only shed I'd put in down here. And I was like, how am I going to lay the yard out? I didn't look at any pictures of a yard on Google Maps or anything, Google Earth. This is pure, well, in fact the whole map is from the head, not from anything I've seen. So this is all fictional, complete 100% fictional. There's not one single thing that is based on anything from the real world. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you will have noticed there's a lot less trees than normal. You know, me and trees, they kind of go hand in hand. And I know for you go, well, there's a lot of trees actually, but you haven't looked at Riverview lately, where there are a lot of trees around fields and everything. I decided to go with a more open look for this one. I wanted to be country feel with certain areas will have a lot of trees, other areas will be wide open landscapes that you can see for as far as the eye can see, and chance to be able to take in views as you're driving around, because, well, you get bored, you never know. And I went with this particular setup with the cows rather than the barn, because, well, it's different, something I haven't used, and you have to give them water. Oh, it's another job for you to do, or for me to do when I start testing. As you can see, dirt roads have just been painted in. The fields that you see there, the textures, they're from Maypole. I put them in just to take the bareness off the land. None of these fields over here are anything like Maypole in terms of nothing's been used for Maypole. This part was completely blank, and then built up, and any field textures that was there was deleted, and then a new texture was put in. They're all the cultivated textures. These are all different whatever textures. Some of them are seeded textures probably. I painted the dirt roads in to give a rough idea of where I wanted things to go. So there's a dirt road that goes up here, around here, back onto the main road, down here onto the main road, around here, onto the main road, onto the main road. Haven't got anything going this way yet, have I? There probably will be. You'll probably find one that'll come down here, and there'll be a lot of dirt roads. We'll just leave it with that. So we can either go anti-clockwise, clockwise. If we go anti-clockwise, we'll get to the store a lot quicker, I think. He says like he knows where he's going. Yeah. So we'll go clockwise, so it takes longer to get to the store, the animal dealers, and you can take in more of the views as we're driving around. Maybe. We'll be passing the vehicle store in a way, and everything that we've already seen. Or should we just go left and keep it a short video? This is all you're going to do is get terrain. You ain't gonna get. Yeah, we'll go left because you ain't going to get any fields or anything. It's just not going to be there. It's all going to be open. Nothing. Just painted textures. That ain't any good. The map size currently, which is to be expected, is less than 100 megabytes, and in fact it's less than just over 70 megabytes. I expect that to be around 150 to the 200 mark by the end of the map. It could be way below that. I mean, it could be river view size of what, 110 is that, 108, something like that. But this is the kind of views that you'd have got as you was driving around, as I was driving around even. You'd have got an idea of the landscape, the way the land is laid out, but you wouldn't necessarily have got an idea of, well, how's it going to look. But the traffic splines gotta be powering, pedestrian spline, the AI splines. There's a lot to do, and a lot of the map is nowhere near finished, and then areas that have got to be smoothed out. Did I put a fence around this? No, I didn't, did I? It was the vehicle store I put a fence around. So obviously a sell point there, Bale sell point to our left, Maypole, and Riverview, I think, both use this particular animal dealers. The one off Elm is big and too big for this map. That's more for a big map, and your animal sell point, or buy and sell point, yeah, right there. The map could get a little bit smaller in certain places. I mean, I might pull the the terrain in closer to the roadside, so you get more of a ocean view as you're driving around. There will definitely be houses dotted around, little clumps of houses, 3 or 4 houses here and there. But we'll take that dirt road, actually. Give you a better idea of the actual terrain. The road is all up and down all over the place. It follows the terrain. The train was built around the road. So that was the one I wanted to take, I think. Oh well. Guess we're going on a detour. It's going to be hilly in places. It's going to be flat in some places, or seem flat. Hard-working tractors are definitely going to be a thing. And there's a view you haven't seen. I don't know if you'll be able to see on my... As the stream catches up, can you see my cursor? You can. Good. So, the next plan of attack is I want to bring the fields across here. Get this section filled in. And that'll give me a better idea of what I want over this side. If I want to put a sell point over here anywhere, what I'm going to do with this clump of land up here. If I'm going to put houses going around the outer edge, fields on the inner edge, sell points somewhere, maybe. It depends on also the terrain. Though I guess I could always put a road that comes off of here to a sell point at the back. Maybe an asphalt road or something. Ignore the PDA. This is not the obviously finished PDA. This is just a rough one, because driving around here with the Riverview PDA just didn't work. Driving through the river, according to the PDA, that was the river that isn't on here, you know, fields that were in the middle of the island or on top of mountains. Kind of broke the idea of the direction I wanted to take the map. Looking at the PDA and then going, how do I plan this? You just couldn't plan it. But yeah, I'm gonna... So why that line is there, that's to mark that quarter to go into. And then I want to try and get all the inner side done before I focus on the outer edge. So it would be this part, and then where this is, that's to mark the boundary for the next area. Going down here, and then it'll be fill in the middle, and then the outer edge. I'm not rushing it. I mean, I've got what, 35 fields in now. Yep, 35 fields. I had, I think I said to average earlier, 28 fields. So I've done another. I've done another 7 fields in the time, and that was this little clump here that went in. And obviously, because I'd finished off, I'd finished that part off, the farm. But what I'll do is I'll make them buildings placeables, and hopefully they'll work in game, and you'll be able to place them down in game as well, and then give you more options. Especially if I decide not to have it that you start off with on any start from scratch, and that way there is no buildings or anything there. I'm not sure. There will be another 2 farms, maybe 3 farms spread around. Maybe one on the outer edge somewhere, one somewhere inside. Depends. I don't want to alter the terrain too much to get a farmyard in, but I want to keep the farmyard small and a bit more compact. So bear that in mind. But yeah, that and you consider that we've come from here, we've driven around here, we've been through the dirt roads, wherever they are, between these fields and everything. We've come back out around here to the animal dealers, down that road and around here and down this road. We've taken in a lot of the map, and I'm sure that's given you plenty of ideas. Like here, I built the terrain up and I'm like, do I want to use natural terrain within the play area and make it look like it's distant islands out there? But if this was a smaller plot of land, it would work a lot more. But from here, you can actually see that is not looking that good. And I could make it bigger, I guess, and change it up. But I'm also thinking at the same time, have it so you can actually buy everything that you can't normally buy. So that would all be viable. And currently 15.5 million. But then those who want to make the map complete could do so, which would mean that anything that I put that would be islands would be outside of the play area altogether. What else? There probably will be every sell point that, or every production, every factory that's in the base game will probably be included. I won't be adding any custom ones. I prefer to stick with base game stuff, and I've been there and done that, where you add custom stuff, and many years ago, and things would change and they'd get broke, and I'll just stick with base game stuff. I know if you want factories there, custom factories, I mean, there's plenty of mods out there. They don't have to be built into a map for you to be able to actually use them. Which was the way I was going with the animals originally. In Maypole and Riverview, there's many placeable animal husbandry barns out there, or animal barns out there for the different species on the hub, and for those who are on PC elsewhere, like King Mods. And so you wouldn't need the ones I'd modified to be able to add increased capacity barns. But I decided with this one, seeing I'm editing them and I'm not taking away the fencing and putting pastures in, workable plots of land within their pastures even, I'd make it that you could place them down within game. I know that kind of makes this look a bit weird, because normally that would be a grass field that you'd see there. Cotton won't grow on here. And currently there are all grass fields. Apparently that one hasn't got anything in it though, 17. Interestingly enough. I haven't done the soil map for this one yet. I'll do the soil map once I've finished the actual map. So this is using the Riverview soil map at the moment. I will slope the land in key areas for you to go and fill up from, I guess, what will be the ocean. Maybe not so good for the animals, but the ocean water here is good for you. Or good for the animals anyway, apparently. But yeah, I think, when did I start working on this? A couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Maybe a bit longer, maybe, I don't know. Lost track of time, but normally I'd have a lot more done, but also by the end of getting the map done, I'd be so burnt out I wouldn't want to touch farm sim for months, and if it needed fixing I just wouldn't be asked to fix it because I'd be burnt out. That's why I'm taking my time, because if there is anything that needs to be fixed that was missed in testing, I want to be able to fix it. I want to be able to take a note of it in it, and after a few weeks of it being out there and people playing it and no more problems being reported, they can be fixed and back out. But hopefully that isn't the plan to get out with bugs in though. Hopefully the map will, when it's out, will work perfectly fine and there won't be any problems for people. But wrong button. Where am I anyway? Yeah, it's that way. As it stands, you can sell anything that is base game at the moment. Apart from that, that's a bug. Okay, so I've got to fix that. What about demolish? Does that give me? Because there's animals in it, yeah, okay. And because there's animals in that. Very good, let's go and sort that out then, huh? You want to sell all 60 of you because we want to press the right button for starters. We want to know if you can be demolished. Okay. I thought you should be able to sell them as well. Not, you have to demolish them. Can you not sell them? I'm not sure. I can't remember if you can on Maypole or not. I thought I'm sure you can. Right, anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and thank you all for... Oh, look, floating deer again. These deer, they do get around, don't they? They're everywhere these days. Definitely need a rifle. Hunter Call of the Wild meets Farm Sim. Or is it the other way around? Farm Sim meets Hunter Call of the Wild. Thank you for stopping by, having a look. Hopefully you like what you see. Don't be put off by what the bad parts and unfinished areas. It will happen. It will be finished at some point. There is no scheduled date as to when the map will be done. It'll be done when it's done. And when it's done and I'm happy with where it is, that i.e. any normal, no extremely noticeable bugs have been fixed, if there are any. It'll be passed on to certain people who can help test if they wish, or just showcase the map, entirely up to them. And if they wish as well, they don't have to showcase just because they're being given the map. And either way, if they showcase it or test it, their name will go in the credits regardless. And they might get a name on a building, you never know. Something I like to do. As a way of saying thank you. But feel free to comment in the post, comments. Yeah. Words. Feel free to post a comment and let me know what you think, and hopefully in the not so distant future you yourself will be having a look around the map or watching somebody else showcasing the finished product of the map, and I'm most likely will end up doing more videos on this, but not too often. More than likely it'll be more towards when it is actually done and I'm just playing it and testing it. Is probably when you'll see a lot more videos of the actual map. For now, you'll probably just get an occasional video here and there, letting you know how it's going, what's added, what's maybe changed, and yeah. So with that, I'm going to say thank you and goodbye.